Congratulations again to all the winners, and thank you everybody for being here for celebrating this amazing moment. I have to say one thing. Raz has been talking about 100 stories, 100 stories. So while we have 100 winners over the last 4 years, we actually have 1,000 stories. Because even the ones that nominated and didn't make it, they deserve a very, very big round of applause from us, because just because they didn't make it in the 25 doesn't make them not steward leaders. They are also doing well by doing good. And so we now have an active database of 1,000 stories. And then we also collect stories from outside of Asia Pacific. This award is only in Asia Pacific. So actually we have a few hundred that we are tracking in other parts of the world. So really, really very grateful to the 25 winners in the room today, as well as all those wonderful people who have taken on steward leadership. They want to do well, but they want to do well by doing good. So with that, let me try to bring this, to tell you a little bit more about, a few minutes about what we've been doing in trying to promote this idea even further. So if I could have the Slido poll, please. If you could bring out your phones. This won't be with Pigeonhole. This is Slido, so you'll have to scan the QR code again. A couple of questions. I want to get some data on the screens, and then we will chat. So we have wars, we have geopolitics, geoeconomics, the weaponization of trade, and so many other things going on. Climate change, inequality. What is the one thing I am most worried about? Please put that there. Ha. We'll give it another couple of seconds. Okay, we get the idea. Lots to worry about. All right, ready? Next question. How do I feel about my ability to individually address some of this? I feel I should do something, but I'm helpless because my contribution is going to do nothing in the larger scheme of things because I'm powerless, or the other way around, or somewhere in between. Let's give us our honest answer. Yeah, so we get the idea. About half of us are feeling very positive. The other half want to make a difference, but don't know how, or feeling like, in the greater scheme of things, is it even going to make a difference? Honestly, it's easy to feel that way these days, isn't it? Last question. So what is the one thing I can do, even though I feel powerless, even though I feel not in a position to make life-changing things, but is there one thing that I can do? Last question. Speak up, I love that. Educate. Yes. Inspire others. Very nice. Act. Whoever said partner with Stewardship Center gets an award. Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we at Stewardship Asia asked ourselves this exact same question 5 years ago. When I arrived here, Stewardship Asia had had a great foundation, had brought stewardship to the forefront in the world, and then we asked ourselves, what else can we do? And these are exactly the questions we asked ourselves. And what we decided was that we will try to enable anybody that cares to achieve win-win-win prosperity, which is the idea of doing well by doing good. If we could bring education, if we could bring advisory, if we could bring inspiration, if we could bring an opportunity to participate, maybe this small drop in the ocean will count. So that's what we decided 5 years ago. And we said we would do it through 5 or 6 things. Education and capability building for steward leadership, because it takes a steward leader to have a vision, but it takes a whole organization, and as we heard earlier, a whole village to actually make the difference. So can we do that? SL25, I don't need to tell you. The idea of SL25 was conceived then. We wanted to also engage people. Up until now, we were only engaging people in forums like this. So we could get to maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 people a year. We asked, what if we could get to millions of people every year and keep doing so? So we've cooked up a digital engagement strategy, which I will talk about in a minute. In-person engagement, events like this, programs that we do with all our partner organizations. I know Singapore Management University team is here. Thank you very much for your partnership. We have now partnership going with Deakin University in Melbourne, Asian Institute of Management in the Philippines, and many more. So thank you all for all the partnerships there. Research and advisory, we said we will publish in various different ways to bring awareness to this idea that doing well by doing good is possible. And finally, as was mentioned earlier, that we were custodians of these principles for responsible investment in Singapore. So that was going to be the journey, and how are we going to do that? I don't want to go through all of these for you today. I want to highlight some progress on a couple of them. The one that I'm really, really proud of, the work that the team did, is digital engagement. How can we get millions of people together to focus on and share ideas, share connections, to innovate and do well by doing good? So we asked ourselves, imagine a free, totally free, multimedia platform for the world where anyone, anywhere, anytime can make meaningful connections with people who care about environment and society. Consume knowledge by reading articles or watching a podcast, or listening to a podcast or watching a video. Share ideas on how to profitably solve for the most existential challenges of the world. Convene a gathering at any time online of like-minded people to debate, to brainstorm. Participate in innovation contests to solve a particular environmental or social problem. And more than anything else, tap into the wisdom and the power of the crowd, because innovation comes from the crowd. So he said, imagine if we could create something like this, and imagine if we could keep it free. Basically, what we are trying to say is, imagine a place where Wikipedia meets LinkedIn. Now, Wikipedia changed the way people consumed information, and LinkedIn changed the way people connect. Imagine a platform that does both, but focused on only one thing, and that one thing is profitable or viable solutions for environmental and social challenges. That was the dream. We didn't know how to do this, and we thought and thought and thought. We sought the help of a lot of people, and eventually, ladies and gentlemen, we launched a couple of years ago stewardshipcommons.com. StewardshipCommons.com is a two-sided platform, crowdsourced platform, where users and contributors share knowledge, tools, and connections to profitably solve the most pressing environmental and social challenges. I'd like you now to take a peek at StewardshipCommons.com. Ladies and gentlemen, an idea that was just a dream now has over 110,000 people and over 800 contributors. This is going to become, and I promise you, this is going to become the world's largest content and community hub of people who care about solving for environmental and social challenges in a profitable or a viable way. This wasn't possible without a lot of support from people like yourselves. And what I want to ask you now is to help us a little bit more. There's 3 ways in which you can help us make this the world's largest community. Because this is where innovation will come from, this is where people will meet, this is where connections will happen, and this is where all those of us who said, I want to help, but I don't know how, that my voice is lost. Well, your voice won't be lost if you become, if you join this community. And as I said, there are no hidden costs. It's totally free. If we collectively speak from stewardshipcommons.com, your voice and my voice will already be heard. Imagine if there are several million people on this platform and we make a representation to the powers that be that please address this or please address that. When 1 million people sign something, it will mean something. But in the meanwhile, you could host an e-learning session free of cost to whoever you want to host it to as a contributor. You could convene an online debate and bring in as many people out there as you want, or simply go in and read or watch or listen. You could be a user, you could be a contributor. So 3 ways to do this. The first is to come in and join as a user. And so if you scan the QR code, you can become a member by simply putting your email address. And I request you to do that now. And I also request you to please share this QR code with as many people as you possibly can, because once this becomes a global community, it is already a global community of 110, but if it gets into the millions, it will have the power to speak. So please help us, not only in joining this community, but also in spreading this QR code to as many people as you can. Is the QR code not working? Oh, okay. Wow. Guys, can we get a new QR code in just a second then? We'll make this available in just a minute. If I can ask my team to just get a QR code ready and put it in a few minutes, please. Thank you. The other way to do that is to become a contributor. If you have any ideas, content, anything of any kind that you want to share, for becoming a user, all you have to do is go on the site and simply go on the site and simply add your email address. If you want to be a contributor, it's a little bit longer. You have to fill out a little form because we like to vet every single contributor before we let them on the system. But once you're on the system, then you can post directly. It's a crowdsourced platform. And finally, as we grow this from 100,000 to 1 million to several million people, we need also financial support. So if anybody is interested in sponsoring this or co-sponsoring this, talk to us offline. Those are ways to get on with this. And I will get you the QR code in just a minute. As soon as it's ready, please let me know. And or you can, at the end of my presentation, if you can flash it from there. So we will get the apologies for that. We'll get that to you in a second. So that's stewardshipcommons.com. Again, I'm appealing to you for your support. We want to keep this totally free forever and I. We need help in growing the community. We need help with more content contribution. And we certainly need help with sponsorship. So if anybody would like to, please talk to us offline. So that was digital engagement. Very quickly, I'd like to take 2 more minutes and talk to you about a few updates on steward leadership, education, and capability building. So the idea about steward leadership was that anybody and everybody, the sooner we can get people start to think about themselves as stewards of planet Earth and humanity and as steward leaders, the better. So one of the things that we've been working on over the last couple of years is involving the youth. Thanks to our partnership with the National Youth Council and thanks to our partnership with the UAE government, at least in these 2 countries, we've already started working with a whole lot of young people and bringing steward leadership awareness and education to them. So if anybody would like to get involved and know more about how you can contribute to youth education and youth initiation into steward leadership, please talk to us. There are plenty of ways to partner with Stewardship Asia. But at this point, I'd like to really thank the National Youth Council and the UAE government because those are the 2 partners that helped us. Of course, we also, on our own, go into many, many schools and offer these services to whichever school would want it. But particularly, these 2 organizations have been great partners for that. So a lot of work going on in empowering youth to become steward leaders. A couple of partnerships I want to highlight here. The next one is one of our newest partnerships is with Deakin University in Melbourne. And we've been having many, many interactions with them, and we've done small events with them in partnership in Australia and here. And I'm very glad to share that in February, we will be running our first Steward Leadership 2-day program for Australia in Australia. But it's not just localized to Australia. If anybody from other parts of the world would like to join this program, you're very welcome too. So this is we have various programs ranging from 4 or 5 days to 2 days to 1 day. Our first 2-day program with Deakin University, where our faculty and their faculty will work together and bring an experience to life, is going to happen in February 23 and 24. And if you need more information, you can click. Again, I hope the QR code works this time. But see you in Australia, in Melbourne, if you would like to join this program. And finally, I want to share with you my most favorite program that we will be doing in March. Can anybody guess what that is? Hint, hint. It has something to do with what you heard this morning. We are going to a very special place to learn steward leadership and to also learn how to be happy, and also learn how to do that inner engineering from the masters in the Himalayas who know this better than anybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, if Tasho Karma's keynote in the morning was inspiring to you, I would say join us in Bhutan in March of 2026 for a full week of immersion where you will spend at least a couple of nights in monasteries. You will also learn a lot about steward leadership, and this can be a trip of a lifetime. I guarantee you, I've done this before in my previous life, a trip to Bhutan to learn first how to go within and then how to lead outside is the most amazing thing that will ever happen to you. So I need you to help me in A, signing up for this program, and B, helping us spread this word. We only have a very limited seats because we cannot take 100 people to this program. So again, we are super excited about this and hope that you will join us in Bhutan. And Dashokarma and the whole of the country and a lot of people that I have spoken to and sought help, they guarantee that you will have an experience like never before. Right, Dasho? Yes. There you go. Thank you. So that's about it in terms of what I wanted to share. Do we have the QR code? Can you? Yes, please. If you can now try this. Does this work? Working this time? Yeah, so you can download it onto your phones. And the desktop version is also very good because that gives you a broader picture as you look at it on a bigger screen. So please join, and more importantly, please help us spread this word as much as you possibly can, because we need this to become a powerful global community of people who care about the environment and society, people who care about leading with compassion, and all the wonderful things that we've heard of today. And if you'd like to be a contributor, then you'll need to spend a little bit more time on the site and fill out a form, and we will get back to you very, very quickly. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time today and for staying with us this morning. And I believe we only have one more act to follow before this. Thank you very much for your support. God bless you all.